Alright, let's get the music turned down a little bit. There we go. Welcome to the stream. Of course, this isn't ready to go, because it never is. Hello, Sasha. Just getting some housekeeping done here. There we go. Hey, how are you? Alright, so let's see, hey Sasha. Yeah, sorry about the stream time changing. We went to the eye doctor and then it's eating lunch and just one thing after another. Calm down. Alright, so we're doing a World Tour Flight 161, and let's pop this up. 161, we're at Keflavík Airport in Iceland, and we're going to be flying to Vágar Airport in the Faroe Islands. About an hour, 45-minute flight. We're going to be on Atlantic Airways 401 in the Airbus A320, Flybywire A32NX mod. And let's just see if we got anything else going on as far as mods. I'm using the FS HUD ATC. I'm going to pull that up. You guys can see it. There it is. That's what we're going to be using for ATC today. I'm not sure if the flight's already started for some reason, but we'll see what happens there. Let's get inside the plane and get everything going. So batteries are already on. Calm down. Batteries are already on, but I'm going to do just my little flow here. Parking brake is set. Flaps and speed brake is disarmed. Ignition is normal. Engine master switches are off. Let's see, we got our thrust lever idle. Just like turn by display, brightness is up, and we are doing live time, so I believe it's 5:26 p.m. in Iceland. Just double check that one. Hopefully the live weather's working. Yesterday I did a live flight, yeah, 5:26 p.m. I did a live weather flight in New York, and the trees were all blowing all over the place like crazy. Nice going out there. Alright, wipers are off. I'm gonna move over a little bit. Co-pilot's gonna take a nap or eat or do something. So yeah, I did a flight up the Hudson River, which is something I want to do some streams of, either that or going up the Rio Grande, doing some VFR flights. But the wind, it was whipping, it was blowing the trees over, and it was really weird because in real life, it's only 6-knot winds. So, it's kind of, something wasn't working right. Alright, so we got everything started there, so we're going to do our battery master switch on. And we do have our external power. Strobe lights to auto. Cruise supply on, ground control auto, or ground control on. Gears 1, 2, and 3 all set to nav. We'll do the fire tests. Alright, we'll get the fuel pumps a little bit later. We'll turn on the nav logo light. Wing light we really don't need. We'll do seatbelts off right now. No smoking auto. Emergency exit lights are armed. And we're going to get into the fly pad. Is there shortcuts in the fly pad? There is. No, let me see if I have one. Whoa. No, I don't. I know I do. I think I do in the CRJ. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so here's our OFP. We actually have an overview. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, it just tells us the passengers. So trip fuel, we need 6832. We're gonna put 7,000 on just to be safe. Never really have an issue with fuel, but they do round up when they put the fuel on. So we're gonna go actually back into the flight pad. I don't know why I did that. Here, fuel truck, I think. Oh no, fuel. And we need 7,000. It takes 6 minutes. Start doing that. I'm gonna go to settings. I want to do audio. Make sure you have our boarding music on. Yep. Back in here, ATSU, AOC menu, weights and balances. We're going to send the request to SimBrief. SimBrief's going to pull it in. We have 142 passengers. Let me double check that on my OFP. That is correct. So we have 0.4, so 400 pounds or 400 kilos of cargo. We're going to start the boarding. Passengers are going to start coming on. Should hear sound effects for that. I'm also going to just making sure the mic and everything. Let me know if the sound levels are good. If I'm too loud, I can always adjust that. So you can hear the passengers coming on. I'm also going to use Pack X, which is an external passenger simulation program. Get that going. You can see the little bar on the bottom has just popped up. Tour, flight time. Okay. I'm not hearing the boarding music myself, but who knows. Alright, just double checking, make sure everything's where we want it. Yep. Alright. It just got a little brighter outside. Yeah, it's a warm, humid day here in the United States in Wisconsin, so do some flights on my day off. At least one. Seems like I can never get more than that. Alright, let's get our clearance. So here's my problem. It's already, for some reason. So yeah, let's cancel this flight, start over. SimBrief flight. Continue. Start flight. That's gate 2. Gate 1. We might have to move here, and we'll see what that does. It's really weird because it was like, because if I just go with current where I'm parked, it doesn't give me the option to call for all the little calls and stuff. I guess we'll go over here. It works, actually. Bad.
At this time, store to make sure all large carry-on items are in the overhead bin and your small items.
I think I was already thinking we're in the pushback, though.
If you have any trouble or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to let us flight.
Oh, no wonder my volume's already all the way down for some reason.
Faroe line 402, clear to Vágar via Oscar 3 Charlie, departure, runway 19er, initial climb 3000, then as filed, squawk 6555.
Cleared to Vágar via Oscar 3 Charlie, departure, runway 19er, initial climb 3000, then as filed, squawk 6555, Faroe line 402.
Faroe line 402, red back correct. When ready, contact Keflavík ground 121.9er.
When ready, contact Keflavík ground 121.9er. Faroe line 402.
Sorry about that. For some reason, my monitoring was on for that. Ground power unit back on.
Flight 402. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 30 minutes. Now that
Anything else we need to do there?
Please make sure that all devices
Bridge.
in mode and your large devices are now shut down. And make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked.
Okay, so now we're at the part of the airport where stuff doesn't come out. Well, that's... oh well.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh well. Always something.
When the seatbelt is fastened, please make sure that your seatbelts are fastened low and tight across your lap. Fasten into the
Am I
middle
wrong?
position to one another and tight
On
by
keys.
pulling on
Okay,
the
so we do still have external power. Nothing broke there.
We suggest you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire flight as you may experience unexpected movement. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft.
Oh, I think it's doing the safety brief is what it's doing. I'm gonna actually reset Pack X here.
Back pocket in front of you.
Because they got confused when we moved to the different gate. Thought we were doing the pushback, and so it's doing all the safety announcements and everything. There we go. Passengers are boarding. We have them boarding here. You can see rows 22 through 29 are boarded. We are currently boarding 14 through 21. Nav should be aligning. 5 minutes. Wonder if I had to restart because we moved. We did get clearance. Let's check that out again. Squawk 6555, departure runway 19 via Osku 3C, climb to 3,000 initial. There's our 3,000 feet. Get in here and it request, because I didn't put it in the arrival airport. So if you start a flight and you have a sim brief plan and you're using the A32NX, if you just put in your departure airport, you can do that in it request. If you do put your arrival airport as well because you want to use the in-game ATC, which I'm not using anymore, then you have to do this all by hand, which I've done many times. So if you want to know how to do that, you can look on earlier flights we've done. So cost index 7, flight number is Faroe line 402. Make sure that's just 402, otherwise it actually changes in here. See that? From Faroe line 402. I had the. That's really cool, the integration. We can actually do wind requests. So I believe this is pulling it all from the sim brief. Probably just kept going back and forth there. Go into flight plan. It's already filled in. We're just going to double check, make sure everything is where it should be. So I'm going to bring up the flight plan so you guys can follow along. I don't know how if you guys can see it that well because it is kind of small. When I was watching it, it looked a little small. So here we have Oscom, direct to Rosti, Larux, or Golf 3 is the airway. So that's what we're seeing there, Golf 3. We're going to take that to Mike Yankee. And we then have a discontinuity. We'll just get rid of that. And that's because what we're looking for, we're going to put in our standard instrument departure here. Runway 19. And departure Osku 3 Charlie. Insert that. So it's going to put in all those other points. Clear that discontinuity between Rosti and Oscom. And same thing on the other end. Our arrival airport, planned arrival, is going to be ILS 30 Zulu. And we have no star, but we are going to have an approach via Mike Yankee. Insert. Alright, just going quickly through, making sure there are no discontinuities. You can also do it on the map in this plan mode. Yeah, that's the end of the flight plan. Just kind of go through, make sure there's no waypoint. It's, you know, that the waypoint is the right one. Because early on in Flight Simulator, the waypoint would be, you'd sometimes get a waypoint that was 6,000 miles on the other side of the planet for some reason, and it would put that in there. Very interesting approach. I don't know what's going on right there. I think there's still some issues with the drawing in the system for for the A32NX, but they're working on it. Alright, back in here, radio nav page, it's already got the ILS, but it's reading the ILS from here, but it's the same frequency for Vágar, so once we get close, they'll read that. Performance, look at that a little bit later. Init page 2 is where we're going to want to go, and we're going to get our headwind, or not our headwind, but our winds. We have a plus 32, so what we do is go 0, 3, 2. That's going to be a tailwind, actually. We have 3-2 knots pushing us. It's going to help our fuel. Back to the ATSU, AOC menu, weights and balances, and we're almost loaded. Once we get loaded, we'll have our 0 fuel weight center of gravity. We'll put that in. And we'll have I'm going to pull up a calculator, calculate our takeoff speeds. Here's the calculator. I know it's a little small. I noticed that. It's too small for you guys. Let me know, and I can make the little fly pad bigger. Alright, so we are Bravo, India, Kilo Foxtrot for Keflavík, Iceland. Taking off runway 19. How are you guys all doing today? I'm not getting any chats right now, but I see a few of you guys watching. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I did a 8-day stretch at work, and I'm getting one day off here, and then I work tomorrow, and then I have the weekend off, so hopefully we'll get a few more flights in on the weekend. But with the baby, there's always things to do, so it's a little hard to get a stream going. Outside air temperature is only 12 degrees. Kind of cool. Runway is dry, anti-ice we're going to keep off for now. We'll turn them on once we are up in the air. Takeoff weight. Okay, this is almost done, so we can go back over here. Oh, there we go. Wait. Takeoff weight, we're going to get right there. TOW, takeoff weight. Just waiting for the passengers. I wish we had independent FMSs right now, but independent screens. Alright, 3 more passengers to go. And since they're nearly on, we're going to seatbelt signs automatically on. I love that. I'm going to start the APU. Waiting for that flap open message. Alright, APU start. You see the exhaust and maybe wondering why there are a couple A320neos with just the basic liveries. Those must be online players, I guess. Or they might just be static aircraft at this airport. Fortunately, some people still, when they make their airports, they put static aircraft. Right, once APU is available, I'm going to hit the APU bleed. Probably need to actually have one of these pumps on to start the APU, technically. There we go. Alright, end percentage is 100. APU is available. APU bleed on. We'll leave the... and we'll disconnect the external power. Back down in here, we can go to the init page 1, init page 2, fuel prediction. Get our 0 fuel weight and center of gravity. Fuel planning. We actually have 7.0 thousand on board. Takeoff weight is 64.5 tons. Center of gravity is forward because it's less than 27%. Flex takeoff, conf 1 plus F, air conditioning on, calculate. We'll go to our performance page. All of our speeds are 144 knots. So V1 is the speed that we can get up to and still be able to hit our brakes and abort a takeoff and have enough runway to come to a stop. Happens to be the same as our rotate speed because just our weights. Usually if it was wet, this would be a lot lower, or if it was a shorter runway or things like that. Hey Dolores, welcome in. V2, I'm not exactly sure what the V2 speed is, to be 100% honest. thrust reduction and everything. This is when we're going to pull back on our power. So we're going to do flex, and then we'll pull back to the climb notch on right here. So we're going to be in flex to take off, and then back to climb once we reach 1,000, about 1,100, 1,200 feet. So 1,160 right there. Flex takeoff temperature is 68 degrees. So you see the outside temperature is actually 12, but we're going to tell the plane it's 68. That will make it that it doesn't need to use as much power to get to that takeoff speed. Something like that. And then our flaps form. Okay. So we are ready. We should be ready. Going to close out that. Checking the checklist, barometric reference. We already have it. That automatically went in too. Not sure how. Flight directors are both on. APU is on. Crew oxygen supply. I actually do have a checklist of this. Let's do that. Mark all good there. For start, parking brake, takeoff speeds and thrust. Windows closed, beacon light on. So that's where we are now. Fuel pumps are on. Beacon light on, since we're going to be starting the engine. We want to let everyone know that. Parking brake, takeoff speed, windows, beacon. Alright. We're going to call up ATC and get our pushback startup.
Keflavík ground, Faroe line 402, gate 1. Request pushback and startup.
Faroe line 402, pushback and startup approved.
Pushback and startup approved. Faroe line 402.
Alright, we need to close that door. Okay. Doors are closed. Pushback is approved. Can you guys hear the ATC? If I can't, I can pump it up a little bit.
402. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour. And
Same with the
now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode. And
same with the flight attendant. If you can't hear her very well and you want to be able to hear that, I can always pump up. Alright, so we're going to start our pushback.
Full upright and locked position for departure. Flight attendants, please prepare cabin for departure and cross check.
With the tug. The tug got up. We got a little invisible tug, it looks like. And this. We're going runway 19. Okay, so we're gonna push tail to the left. So here we go. Parking brake released. And push back. Engine ignition to start, and starting engine 2. Alright, good to hear, Dolores. How are you doing? Yeah, I think this is, of the 3 planes that I fly primarily, this is the easiest plane to start the engines because you don't have to do anything. Once it, I don't think we have to do anything. Yeah, once it gets to 20%, we then start the second engine. But with the Boeing, you have to push up the fuel thing, same with the CRJs. You can see some of the elevator there kind of flapped up because it got hydraulic pressure.
If you're traveling with children, now's the time to
starting engine 1.
But secure your mask and then assist others.
Yep, we have an invisible tug if you're wondering.
necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device. Once again, all devices must be in airplane mode and your larger devices must be turned off and stowed at this time. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened in seat backs and
Parking brake set and tug released.
We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight.
Hello! Hello, CB. Again, I can't see your... I don't know my Cyrillic. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, we have both our engines available. So we're going to go and turn off the APU bleed. And the APU master switch. Runway turn off lights on. Nose lights taxi. Spoilers armed. Flaps to 1. Anti-ice, once we... I think we'll actually turn it on. We'll turn it on once we get up in the air pretty quickly, because we do have those low clouds. Auto brake, set to max. And weather radar, turn that on. Lock the cockpit door. We're on taxi clearance now.
Keflavík ground, Faroe line 402. Request taxi.
Faroe line 402, taxi to holding point, runway 19er, via November 4.
Taxi to holding point.
Alright, very easy taxi, we just go straight.
November 4, Faroe line 402.
So I'm debating buying the the taxiway improvement from, I think, Just Flight. They did one for Europe and the United States. The problem is that now I'm going to buy it and we're not going to do much flying in the United States. By the time I use it, we'll probably do like 1 or 2 flights in the United States and obviously future flights if we do it in Europe and stuff. But I wonder if he's got coverage for South America and stuff. And basically what it does is it fixes all these taxiway signs, makes them a little bigger so we can read them a little bit easier from the cockpit. Also fixes them and has the right stuff on them. And for, I think you can get you can get both the Europe and United States together as a bundle for like $40, which considering
parking 41, request pushback and start up.
Considering it's a upgrade to a lot of airports and not just one, might be worth it. I don't know what's going on with this Finnair. That must be an online one. That low rumble from my speakers. Yeah, see, a lot of the ATC signs, they kind of pop into existence. They're kind of a little small. Here's the runway one, you can barely tell.
Faroe line 402, contact Keflavík Tower 118.3.
Contact Keflavík Tower 118.3. Faroe line 402.
Cabin is ready for takeoff.
Keflavík Tower, Faroe line 402. Runway 19er, ready for departure.
Faroe line 402, line up, runway 19er.
Line up, runway 19er, Faroe line 402.
Faroe line 402, wind 220 degrees at 8 knots.
We are cleared for takeoff, so we're going to line up and
runway
get going.
19er, cleared for takeoff, Faroe line 402.
And that protected wind shear. No, I'm not a VATSIM. Using the FS HUD ATC. Yeah, what I need to do is I'm gonna do one of these nights when I'll do like when I'm not doing a stream, I have to just kind of do some practice on VATSIM. Maybe if I'm doing like, because like last night I did a little bit of flying up the Hudson River, and so maybe I'll throw VATSIM on and kind of practice that and see, make sure everything's kind of working. Get in the flex notch. There we go. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Throwing that anti-ice. Because we got the clouds that we're going to be going through. Pull back our speed to climb notch.
Faroe line 402, contact Keflavík, approach
Autopilot on.
119.3.
Ground spoilers off.
Contact Keflavík, approach 119.3. Faroe line
Check the flap
402.
soon.
Keflavík final approach, Faroe line 402, altitude 3 Charlie, departure at 2,100, climbing 3,000. Faroe line 402, radar contact, continue climb 6,000. Continue climb 6,000, Faroe line 402.
So it seems like the live weather's working today. Yesterday I was doing flying in the Cessna 208 up the Hudson River in New York, and the trees were just it looked like there was a heat, like almost that heat wave kind of thing going on, but it was just super high winds. When I took off, my plane almost went sideways and flipped over because of such high winds. Wow, look at that kind of volcanic ash going on down there. So I had to turn off the live weather because it was out of control. Alright, we're climbing right into clouds. You want your anti-ice on right now. Even though we're not really in danger of any freezing, but just in case, get over the clouds. So I guess we're not going to see much of Iceland on our departure. We're departing east right now. We're just going to skirt across the southern edge of Iceland. I'm going to have to do some VFR flights around Iceland because it's a beautiful, interesting looking place. I mean, there's so many places to go fly. Check out here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, I think, I'm hoping that we're not going to stay at 6,000 for the next 50 knots, or 50 nautical miles. Oh. Actually, if we go outside the plane, we can see some interesting sights. Well, for a second there. I probably want to aim this way, since Iceland will be on our... There we go. Take a look at the chart for our departure. Yep, our ceiling until we get to Kilo Foxtrot 466 is 6,000 feet. Then we will climb to 7,000 feet. We'll go a little bit further, another about 12 miles, and we'll get a clearance to flight level 10,000 or flight level 100, which is 10,000 feet. And then we'll get to Oscom, where we will be cleared to our cruising level. So there it is, Kilo Foxtrot 244.
Keflavík, final approach. I-683, heavy, Sierra Oscar, Romeo India 2 Charlie, departure at 3,700, climbing,
I
flight
don't know why it
level
says 4,000 feet
130.
there. Oh, 244 is 4,000 feet.
A3 heavy, radar contact, continue climb, flight level 130.
Not sure why we cleared above that, but 466 will be at 6,000.
Continue climb,
And then you can see it
flight
goes
level
up right there.
130, I-683, heavy.
Faroe line 402, climb and maintain, flight level 100, QNH 1019er, climb and maintain, flight level 100, Faroe line 402.
Alright, so they're going to have us ignore the rest of this standard instrument departure and let us climb a little early. It's technically the limit, the ceiling for this next waypoint is 6,000. And then the next one is 7,000, and then with them. And actually, it's not letting me break through. So what you can do, just go slash. I believe if I do this, I think I'll find it. It'll actually let me. It'll let me break the. It'll let me break the barrier. There you go. And that's because ATC cleared us. Sometimes ATC will say ignore restrictions, climb to flight level 100. In this case, they just said 10,000 feet. Oh, we get some cool clouds today. Some flights you get no weather, other flights you get all the weather. Okay, leveling out at 10,000 feet. I don't think I ever answered a Sasha's question. How did I do that? Yeah, I'm doing well, Sasha. Just got done with an 8-day week or an 8-day stretch of work. Picked up the weekend the past weekend, but it wasn't too bad because like spotting trailers is a lot of work. 12 hours.
02, climb and maintain. Flight level 200, contact Akureyri, approach 118.2. Climb and maintain. Flight level 200, contact Akureyri, approach 118.2. Faroe line 402.
Spotting is a lot of work because you're
Akureyri, approach,
climbing up and down the steps to the truck and disconnecting trailer, reconnecting. You know, you're constantly running. Whereas, but this weekend, and Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, I did a can line, which we picked up for Miller, where I just run up, a few miles to the warehouse, grab the cans, drive back down, and sometimes you sit around for quite a bit and get to read. So I got to read quite a bit of the book I'm reading right now, and get paid while doing that. Right, so I'm gonna just put 20,000 here and break the restriction again. I'm not sure if there's another way to do this that you don't have to do it with each waypoint coming up. Now that we're up to 10,000, we're going to turn off the landing lights. And turn off the seatbelts. Fine. Once we break 10,000. Yeah, so last week by adding those two, the weekend, which basically Saturday, and then Sunday was this week, goes on this week's check. But adding Saturday to my week put me at 72 hours per week, so a lot of hours, be a nice paycheck. And then this week was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll work tomorrow, and then have the weekend off. So we'll do this flight, and maybe I'll do one of the viewer requested flights I have ready to go, or potentially we'll just do a round trip here, and we'll fly back on the same airline back to Iceland and set up for our Greenland flights for Saturday in the CRJ, which will be fun. I'm looking forward to getting back in the CRJ. Really fun plane to fly. And I also have to prepare some more of my US tour flights and just get some stuff set up so that we can do some of those VFR flights on the Rio Grande and on the Hudson River. I'm really enjoying doing those. When I've just been flying on weeknights and not streaming, it's just kind of fun to just fly around and sightsee, and I'd like to do that on the stream too. And if you guys want to join in on a flight, you go on to the multiplayer right now. Alright, so we are climbing. We are above 10,000 feet. Turn off the seatbelt sign. Fully integrated PAC-X, and this plane works great with PAC-X because you turn off the seatbelt sign. They'll make that announcement. And if I go right here and I turn the seatbelt sign on and I send this message, it'll flip that back on. The flight attendants will actually turn on the seatbelt sign once I begin my descent, and I can't turn it off. So be careful about descending. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's obviously just a simulation of passengers, so you're not too worried about it. But if you keep your seatbelt sign on the whole time with PAC-X, the passengers will get pretty annoyed. Alright, so I'm zoomed almost all the way out on the map just to get to our next waypoint, which is Rasti. The really cool thing with the ATC here is it shows the distance to our next waypoint. Now, I'm not sure what this direct to ING is. I'm not sure where that is. Why is that even showing up? It's not on here. But it's showing 174 nautical miles.
Faroe line 402, proceed direct India November Golf. Proceed direct India November Golf, Faroe line 402.
Now, I could have sworn there was an option. There used to be an option where I could go, no, I want to go direct to Rasti. I'm not sure. Not sure what's going on there, but we're proceeding to Rasti technically. I guess India November Golf's on the way. And Rasti will make a course correction to go a little bit more southeast to get down to the Faroe Islands, which are about midway between the northern part of Scotland and Iceland. I can see some of Iceland on our way to the left.
Faroe line 402, climb and maintain. Flight level 290, contact Nashville Swan Center 121.3. Climb and maintain. Flight level 290, contact NASA Swan Center 121.3. Faroe line 402.
Did a pretty good job of getting that out. Narsar Swak
NASA
Center.
Swan Center, Faroe line 402. At
I climb into flight level 290.
Climbing flight level 290.
Faroe line 402, radar contact, continue climb, flight level 290.
Continue climb, flight level 290, Faroe line 402.
So I'm really liking this ATC. I wish they had some better voices, maybe some dynamic voices, but I think that would be a far more ambitious project. Right now, I wonder if there's a place where I can see their updates, because I know they just had a recent... They've been updating it in recent days. We'll go and check it out. Let's see, FS... So to find that, it's going to be fshud.com. The Foxtrot Sierra Hotel Uniform Delta.com. And... let's see. Yep, so I just updated it yesterday. An update came up, and they improved the top of descent point calculation. So that was an issue that we had on a flight. I saw it in the forums. Was that people, you know, and we had this problem too. We were getting they tell us to start descending too late. Even though we would say we were ready for descent, or it wouldn't descend us as rapidly as we needed, so we'd be nearly at our landing point. We'd be too high for clearance, which is a problem that the in-game ATC has a issue with. So hopefully we won't have any issues ourselves on this flight. We're getting some snow in this part of Iceland. Off the anti-ice. We're not going to need that until we descend. We still have clouds. Yeah, so July 20th they improved the top of descent point calculation. Just kind of looking at how they do their numbering. Okay. Let's see, they improved profile calculation and constraints management on the 15th, on the 12th, basically when I got it. They added the ability to initialize ATC during a in-progress flight. It used to be you had to start at a gate. You had to start it right at the beginning of flight. Added the option that we can manually tune the comm and AFIS frequencies, improve scenery mapping, improve taxi behavior, and AI gate/parking. So it's pretty good. Constant updates. I think this came out June 20th. Or at least the first update they have is from June 20th.
Faroe line 402, climb and maintain, flight level 330.
Climb and maintain, flight level 330, Faroe line 402.
I3209er, heavy radar contact, expect November Alpha Sierra Bravo 1 Hotel, arrival, Alpha Delta Oscar Victor Alpha, ILS Zulu, approach, runway 28, report when ready for descent.
Expect November Alpha Sierra Bravo 1 Hotel. Arrival. Alpha Delta Oscar Victor Alpha. ILS. Zulu. Approach. Runway 28. Report when ready for descent. I-09er Heavy. I-09er Heavy. Ready for descent.
I-09er Heavy. Descend and maintain. Flight level 190.
Descend and maintain. Flight level 190. I-09er Heavy.
I-3209er Heavy. Clear base 1 Hotel. Arrival.
Clear desk 1 Hotel. Arrival. I-09er Heavy.
I-3209er Heavy. Descend and maintain. Flight level 110. Contact Aquarium. Approach 118.2.
Descend and maintain. Flight level 110. Contact approach 118.2. I-09er Heavy.
Yep, that's half the fun of these world tour flights. Seeing the different liveries from different airlines around the world. Sometimes it's funny because it's like I'll end up flying a kind of a low-cost airline versus more the national airline or whatever for some of these places. So you miss out on some of the ones you know. We end up flying on some that never heard of, and in a lot of places that's the case. Flying airlines probably never heard of. For some reason we're at 33,000 and not climbing.
Faroe line 402, descend and maintain, flight level 320.
But why?
Descend and maintain. Flight level 320. Faroe line 402. NASA Flight Center, Faroe line 402. Request climb. Flight level 390.
Faroe line 402, continue climb. Flight level 380. Expect flight level 390 after India November Golf.
Continue climb. Flight level 380. Expect flight level 390 after India November Golf. Faroe line 402.
Faroe line 402, climb and maintain, flight level 390.
Climb and maintain. Flight level 390. Faroe line 402.
Definitely icier in this part of Iceland. Didn't see much when we were coming in to Keflavík, but on this end, more to the east. We are getting some snow and ice. We actually had a little bit of a storm, and I think that's what all those clouds were. I don't know if it's rolling in, but there was a storm just south of us on our takeoff. Looking at the radar right now. So the expected arrival is 1 hour and 9 minutes. Our estimated time, though, on the tracker is about 30 minutes. So big difference. Jump in here, go to the MCVU menu, ATSU, AOC, weather request, get our MEDAR. Yeah, I really like that one. I don't know if I have a flight for that airline though, but I'll definitely have to set up a flight on that airline. I don't think I have one for the world tour on that, but I really like that livery. I think I downloaded a whole bunch of them for the A320, and I'm not sure if they fly the A320 or the Boeing. I know I downloaded a bunch of liveries for the A320, so we can always do it in that, but I like to do it in the closest plane to the real one if possible. I can't believe how we've really slowed down on this world tour. I'm looking at my schedule, and like this flight was supposed to be probably early June. We're gonna have this one done, but things are kind of slowing down. Let me see. I'm just looking through. Yeah, we have no. Let's see. Yep, no Azul flights. But I'll check again and just make sure I didn't miss one that we could do on it for the world tour. But yeah, once we get to flight 165, so a few flights from now, we're going to be flying from Iceland over to Montreal, Canada, and then we'll be in the Americas from flight 166 all the way through. Let's see, 166 to flight 228. So we're going to have about 60 flights to cover the Americas, which actually isn't that many considering we did about 80 for Europe and another 80 for Africa. So we're actually going to knock out the the Americas. Did I say America? We had about 80 or so for Africa, 80 or so for Europe, and now we're gonna have about 60 or so, a little bit over 60 for the Americas, and then Asia is definitely gonna. I think Asia should. I don't know how many we'll have for Asia actually, because it's a little interesting once I get over there how I'm going to do the flights, because I've done a lot of those flights before in X-Plane. So the scheduling, I might be tempted to do it the same way I did it back in X-Plane, but there are a lot of places in the more eastern areas of the Pacific, closer to Hawaii, relatively, that I didn't actually get to, and so I'm trying to get those in and then work our way over to New Zealand and and work our way up, maybe following that same schedule I did in X-Plane, but we'll see. Long ways to go, and especially at the rate that I've been flying these flights, it's going to be a while now. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have to look into doing setting up an Azul flight. I have one for Friday night, so tomorrow night I'm going to start transatlantic flight, long haul from Israel to New York on El Al. See if the sim doesn't crash during that flight. And I have a few other requested flights set up that are shorter, obviously, but most of them are between like 2 and 3 hours, so good length flights, actually. Alright, so Larox, we need to actually start descending. I'm going to look into... I forget, but probably... Let's pull up my chart. Problem is we don't have a standard terminal approach route. We're actually starting the in-flight service, but I feel like we're going to have to start descending pretty soon.
If you'd like to order additional menu items, you may hit the flight attendant call button at any time, and we would be happy to.
I'm having a hard time reading this chart. let me write that down, that flight, and I'll check it out. Let's see, so Recife to Fernando de Noronha. Assuming that's Brazil. Okay, so what I want to do is here it's got no limits, which is a little strange. Let's do this one actually. So Charlie India 30 Zulu. Charlie India 30 Zulu. Closer one, and we want to be at 4,000 feet. $110 nautical miles. I was going to put in. Okay. I'll put in 115 just to give us a little extra. And then if we look on here. Okay, so before Larox, we're going to start a descent. They should give us about yeah, you can already see, looking actually pretty good here. This should be 4,000 though. So the descent is in there. Alright, so we can do like Recife to Fernando and then to Sao Paulo. Let's see, how am I getting to? I'm trying to see where. Oh, I don't even think I have it. Okay. Let's see, I'm going. These SPs here. Yep, I'm flying into Sao Paulo, coming out of Bolivia. So we're going to be on a Boliviana de Aviación livery. And hopefully I can find a livery for that in the 737 because quite a few 737 flights we'll have coming up mixed with the A320, which is exactly what I want to do. I love this plane. Is probably the plane I'm obviously the most comfortable with, but want to get that other plane some use as well. But yeah, definitely we can have that be a requested flight. So I'll set that up, and then that'll be a flight I can throw in to kind of break things up and do something different. I'm getting the feeling that my computer is dying, or I'm just running more and more programs at the same time while I'm on the sim and on the stream. One or the other, because my frame rates are starting to dip below 30 on the regular now, even in the cruise. When we're at airports, it's going to be lower, but lately it's been really bad. When we're at airports for some reason. I don't know if it's... Of course, the A32NX is hits your frame rate a little bit more than the Boeing, I think, and the CRJ. Even the CRJ, I think, performs a little bit better frame rate wise. Okay, so here's what I'm a little worried about. You see Larox saying flight level 390.
Faroe line 402. Expect Mike Yankee, ILS, Zulu. Approach runway 30. Report when ready for descent.
Expect Mike Yankee, ILS, Zulu, approach, runway 30. Report when ready for descent, Faroe line 402. Faroe line 402, ready for descent.
Faroe line 402. Proceed direct Mike Yankee. Descend and maintain. Flight level 240.
Proceed direct Mike Yankee, descend and maintain, flight level 240, Faroe line 402.
Faroe line 402. Cleared Mike Yankee, ILS, Zulu. Approach at 4000. Runway 30. Report established on localizer.
Cleared Mike Yankee, ILS, Zulu, approach at 4000, runway 30. Report established on localizer, Faroe line 402.
To assist with customs at our destination, flight attendants will begin handing out forms momentarily. Please review and complete these forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
Have you done 601 legs already? Wow. I barely have time to fly ever. I can't believe. I thought it was like pretty far already with 161 legs, but it's like I think I'm about a month behind over a month behind what I was planning on doing by now. Oh. Let me see. I want to. Where? Oh. Let's see this world tour. Oh, he always grabs it when I'm actually flying. When I'm doing VFR, I was doing VFR on the Hudson, and yeah, he likes to pull up, stall the plane, and then just let it go and fall into the ground. I'm like, hey, you gotta, you know, not go so extreme. Hey. Yeah, mind control. Where are you going? Now, what are you flying this world tour with? I mean, a lot of these. I'm looking up at that Russia. I guess you're just kind of doing some pretty cool flights there on the north end of Russia. Man, I'm gonna have to look at this a little closer. Now, is there a certain thing with the colors, or the red ones you've done already, or you know, orange? You know, what's the deal? Chair, all set up. You can sit here and watch. Yeah, so here again I'm worried because they had us descend to... Or are they having us descend to... Well, I guess we are cleared to 4,000. Alright. It was a little confusing because they cleared us to 24,000 and then they're like cleared to the localizer approach or whatever. So, we'll do that. Yeah, I mean it's better than the in-game ATC for sure. It just I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, you do get the chatter with the other planes, or with the other other AI planes. So that's kind of cool. Only thing I wish is that the I just wish the voices were a little bit more. Why did you tell me? Oh, okay, that's right. I wish the voices were a little bit more randomized between, because it's always the same voice for ATC, same voice for the pilots, and then like when they're talking to the other planes, everything's the same. But obviously that would be a lot more, and they might do it eventually. I mean, they've been updating it almost every other day, so who knows? They might drop some more surprises. So I think it's worth it if you're going to be doing flying offline. It doesn't support VFR yet, but I think that's something that will come along. So I think for what it's, I mean, what was it, $35? I think it's worth it. It's not as, I think pilot to ATC, every time I got pilot to ATC and I would look at that, I was always felt very overwhelmed, like, okay, what is this? And this one's very automated though. I think pilot to ATC, you do have the voice option where you can actually do the call outs like that. I think it's just Windows voices. I'm not sure what they're using, where they're pulling the voices from. So, yeah, I do hope that's something maybe they can add. So there's the Faroe Islands. I didn't download, I did notice there was like a mesh pack for this, so it might not be the best looking islands. but I think there's a conflict with the mesh pack that overhauls these islands, make them look better, but then you can't use the airport, the Vágar airport mod, and I think the airport's more important than everything, the whole island, I guess. Yeah, so Icebird, I'm gonna have to look at your. I'm looking at your map. I'm like I said, I'm just a little confused. Like, what are the different color? Do the colors mean something? How did you set this map up? Did you, or is this all pulled? Is this pulled from NeoFly, or are these? This is all data, because yeah, it's got all kinds of information like your weight and your pay and everything. Got like a tour overview. Definitely a lot more comprehensive world tour than what I'm doing. Definitely went to a lot of places within each country. Oh, okay, I see. What are the red ones? I'm jealous. I'm jealous of you guys that have are able to put in so much mileage. Alright, so there's the Faroe Islands. We are coming in. I think we're going to be a little high because I didn't... but we need right here, that little circle one, we need to be at 4,000 feet. That's what we're going towards right now. Yeah. Yeah, that mesh, the little download, I think it's like a 10 mile. That would have been really good for this. They don't look too terrible once they load in. FSQC. Does it take a lot of time to put together all this and put up all the pictures and everything? Pretty cool. I'd love to be able to do that, but that's kind of why I went to doing the live stream. That way I have like a record of the flight. Obviously I don't have all the little info and everything available, but most things are automated. Cool. Crazy that we're at live time. It's probably now it's almost about 7 p.m. I think in the Faroe Islands. Take a look. We'll see what it is. Almost 8 o'clock. There, I think that might be the airport right there. In which case, yeah, we're already on the approach. Oof, a little high. A little high. We need to get down to 4,000. Yeah, the only problem with the cliffs. Cliffs are a little bit of an issue in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever be able to program something like that, but I used to do a lot of things like that, you know, making websites and stuff back when, you know, when I was in middle school and high school. Now I just don't have time for it anymore. Time or the patience to kind of learn how to do it and learn how to do kind of crazy stuff. Let's turn on the landing lights. Seatbelt's already on. We got the spoilers out, trying to get down 4,000 feet. I don't know how much luck we're going to have at that. There you go. Yeah, it's always helpful when you can kind of double up things like that. We might be able to get down to 4,000 feet by the time we get around this turn. Okay, we're at pressure. I'm loving my browser keeps crashing randomly. Click on a link or something and it just shuts the browser down. I feel like I either have a virus or my computer's dying. I don't know. One of the two. Oh, that's always fun. Alright, I think we should be okay here. Pro speed is 130, so we got a lot of speed to lead off. As we hit the glide slope. Oh, beautiful approach though. Brave. So that might be what it is too. It might just be Brave is starting to crap out. A lot of what, like, my mortgage website. Well, my mortgage website locked me out because it said I had the wrong password, which doesn't make any sense. It's the right password. And then my security questions, I had the wrong answers supposedly, which I just set all this stuff up like a week ago. And then my insurance website was, every time I'd click on log in, it would just close the browser. I'd get the little security message with the required like the security code, and then it would just shut the browser when I put it in. Like, oh, thank you. Vivaldi. Interesting. Yeah, same with Brave. Brave has no ads and stuff. It has an automatic blocker and all that. Alright, we're gonna get full flaps. There's the runway. Actually, the
Faroe
report
line
we're established on the
402,
localizer.
established on localizer.
Hey, Sean.
Faroe line 402, contact tower 124.55.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this flight. We're gonna end this. We're gonna end the stream after this flight, and then I might be on later and do the return flight. We'll see.
Tower, Faroe line 402.
But then we'll have.
Final 30.
We'll be flying tomorrow night after work. We'll be doing a long haul and then see what we can do on the weekend. Alright, we are cleared to land. We got winds 8 knots at 290 degrees, which is basically coming right at us. Yeah, this is the Faroe Islands, and it's pretty cool in some places. The cliffs struggle. There's some struggles with the cliffs, but I think some areas look really good. I think there's a mod from last year, but it conflicts with the airport, so I didn't put it in. Yeah, and I've heard conflicting things with Iceland. I haven't heard good things with just the base. I think there is a mod, but I don't know if it's in, if it works anymore. It kind of overhauled Iceland. So hopefully they'll do a world update of these areas eventually.
1,000.
Of course, I loaded into like Washington DC the other day, and I couldn't believe how awful that place looked. It's like, really? We've done how many? We've done 2 US world updates, and stuff still kind of looks a little eh. Alright, medium auto brake. I better remember to do some of the stuff we need to do on landing. Otherwise we'll be in trouble. I was gonna say this is Vágar, but I think it might be Vágar. No, Vágar is the island, I think. This is Midvágar.
100 above.
I should probably check how long
500.
the runway is.
500.
5,902 feet. I'm gonna go max.
500.
Oh, no, can't do max.
$400.
Well, like everything's just the
300.
auto-generated buildings except for the landmarks, which they thankfully updated those. Because those weren't doing it. You had to get like a different pack, or there was some good freeware packs of those.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Whoa.
Faroe line 402, wind
That wasn't a good landing.
ground 125.8.
When vacated, contact ground 125.8. Faroe line 402.
Yeah, I don't get to fly all the time, and so it's always an adventure landing. That first landing after about a week or 2 off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 8:06 p.m. and it's currently about 12 degrees Celsius. You can now
okay.
use your mobile devices.
Yeah, so this is a freeware upgrade to this airport. Looks pretty good so far from what I'm seeing. That hangar
Faroe
over
line 402, taxi 2 1.
Taxi
One's gonna be
21,
probably right
Faroe
where
line
that
402.
Oops, I don't want that. I want... What am I doing? Landing lights off. Strobe lights auto. Taxi. View. Turn off our TCAS. Weather radar. Predicted wind shear. Alright. Yep, I've downloaded everything in the content manager. I'll have to do it again, or I'll double check, but I think I did the last world update. I've done all that, and Washington definitely, the landmarks are better than they were before, but it's not photogrammetry or anything. Like, all the buildings, other than the landmarks, are just all autogen. So it's a little like, eh. Yeah, and then even like the Capitol building doesn't load in until you get really close to it, so you just see this kind of, you just see the satellite image of it laying on the ground, or kind of a generic building, and then it pops into existence. So it's like, what is going on there? I like park in a spot like this. Not exactly sure. Yeah, I don't think the quality of the landing had anything to do with Vágar itself. It wasn't that bad of a runway or anything. A little bit shorter than, you know, that you'd like, but not too short. I've had much shorter ones that I wasn't expecting. Alright, so we are good on the APU. See if I can get we can get some a ground power unit. We can get a jet bridge. Doubt anything's gonna come out. I like to turn the external power on, just in case. Take the engines down. While that's happening, let's kind of take a look at our flight on Volanta. Landing rate 224.66. Not bad, except for the fact that we did kind of bounce. So I'm surprised there's not two. I feel like we bounced. An hour 10 minutes flight time, so a lot shorter than the flight plan said it was going to be. And we unlock Faroe Islands now here in Volanta. That away for now. Engine is stopped, so we will turn off the seatbelt signs. Beacon light off. Go in here and have the passengers start to deboard. And I'm going to pull up the world map for the world tour. Hit the right button. There it is. There's the world tour so far. We just came from Iceland. And there are the Faroe Islands. Alright, so next flight we're going to go back where we came from, right over here to Keflavík. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm probably butchering it. We're going to take a break, so we're going to end this stream, and I'll be on hopefully in a few hours, and we'll do the return flight, and then tomorrow night we'll do a flight to El Al Israel, all the way up from Tel Aviv to New York City. Close that out, wouldn't I? Okay. That can help me. ACW Simulations. Awesome. Yep, thanks everyone for coming in. I will see you a little bit later. XFT we got on. Awesome. Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna step away. We're gonna run over to the library and stuff, and then I'll be back on hopefully after that. We'll do a flight from Faroe Islands back over to Iceland. I think that will be good. Not too long of a flight, and we'll be on the A320 again. And then set up for this weekend on Saturday, we'll do some CRJ 700s to Greenland and back. So until then, happy flying and take care.